Hey, boys and girls, how are you today? It's Mrs. Chapel. It's really great to be back with you again today. Now, a few days ago, I think it was on Saturday, I was out taking a walk along the ditch near our house and I came across a couple of really interesting animals. Do you happen to remember what those were? I saw some ducks and some peacocks. And I think that birds are really cool. And I'm always interested in learning more about different kinds of animals. And I suggested during my walk as I was videotaping that maybe we should spend some time learning about different types of birds. So here's what I'm going to do. I've been working on a packet for you so that you can learn more about birds if you want to. This is not something that you have to do, this is something that you can choose to do. You can learn more about birds by doing research. Now, when I give you the link to this packet, you'll discover that you could do it the old fashioned way, which is by printing pages and then writing with a pencil on the paper. Or you could do it all online. So there will be space for you to type what you learn on Google Slides. So, more about that later. To get us started, I found a really cool book to share with you. Are you surprised? You shouldn't be. I can find a book for just about anything. So here's the book. It's called Hawks Kettle, Puffins and Other Poems of Birds in Flight. And as it says, it is a poetry book. It has really neat poems, but I also love the illustrations. Let me open it up so you can see. Now, what I can do with this book today is something called a book talk. A book talk is where I can show you pictures and I can read a little bit of it, but I can't share the entire thing with you. And here's why. I don't have permission from the publisher to share this book with you in this way. If I were face to face with you, I would be able to share it with you, but I don't have permission to share it with you through YouTube or some other sort of video. So instead, I'll book talk it and you'll get a sense of what the book is about, and I'll be able to share one of the really cool poems with you. Now, when we do our bird unit starting tomorrow, I will give you some ideas of other books about birds that you can read online. All right, so stay tuned. I'll be right back, and I'm going to book talk this book with you.
Hawks Kettle, Puffins and Other Poems of Birds in Flight. This book was written by Susan Van Greek and Mark Hoffman. The publisher is Kids Can Press. Now, what we're going to do is a quick book walk. That's where we just quickly look through the pictures of the book and talk a little bit about what it's about. As I've already said, it's a book of poems about birds. But the interesting thing about it is that on one side of the page, it has a poem, such as this one. On the other side of the page, it has information so that we can learn as we enjoy the poetry. Let's look through a few more pages. Crows mob. Hummingbirds hover. Aren't these illustrations fantastic? Look at those. I love that we can learn about hummingbirds as we read poetry about hummingbirds. Hawks Kettle. So I think that gives you a good idea of what the book is about. I want to go back to the very first poem. It's called Hawks Kettle, Puffins, which is the same as the title of our book. Let's read. Birds fly. Well, most do. But did you know that they also kettle, mob, wheel, and dive, as well as many other things besides? Always, and in their own special ways, birds are on the move. And that's actually one of the things that we're going to be learning about the birds that we do research on, is how they move, because as we know, not all birds fly. Now let's go to the information section, which is right over here. Birds' bodies are built for flying. Their streamlined shape helps them move easily through the air. Their wings are made of strong feathers and hollow bones that are relatively light. And birds have special chest muscles that power their flapping wings. By jumping or running and then flapping their wings, birds produce thrust to take off and start flying. Air rushes over the top of their curved wings and creates lift, the force that keeps them aloft. Their tail feathers control steering, speed, and balance as the birds maneuver through the air. You know what I love about this book is how much we can learn about birds as we enjoy the poetry. So, tomorrow I'll be back and we will get started on our bird research project. I'll see you then. Have a great afternoon.